Love him or hate him, people tend to listen when Warren Buffett speaks, considering he's probably the most successful investor of all time. Also known as the Oracle of Omaha, the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway has shown his ability to read Wall Street like a book. According to Forbes, as of August 30th, 2020, his net worth is $82 billion, and that's due in part to his ability to resist the temptations associated with investing in the next big thing, while also using his immense wealth for good by contributing to charities. His teachings are endless, and his letters to shareholders have been great guides to value investing. Not only did Buffett buy new stakes in two of the most recognizable stocks in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, but he also ditched a couple of other big-name blue chips and continued to bail on bank stocks. When he began buying stock in Berkshire Hathaway in 1962, a share cost $7.50. Today, Warren Buffett is Berkshire's chairman and CEO, and one share of the company's Class A stock is worth close to $119,000. There's no doubt that anyone can learn more than a couple of things about doing business and making wealth from this exceptional billionaire who's been acquiring, starting, and growing businesses for longer than many of us have been alive. With that said, let's take a look at the top 10 billionaire tips from Warren Buffett. Although he's worth over $70 billion, Warren Buffett lives well below his means. He even still lives in the same house he bought in Omaha, Nebraska for $31,000 in 1958, when he was 28 years old. He has been known to drive an older, modest car, while he also picks up breakfast at McDonald's drive-thru almost every day. While Buffett reveals a home is a great place to create terrific memories with more to come, he suggests it falls flat as an investment vehicle. It could be wise for investors and non-investors to follow this simple example by looking for new ways to stretch their dollars. For example, when shopping for life insurance, it can be a good idea to choose an economic term life policy. Use a free browser extension that will find you the lowest price for anything you're buying online, and then download an app that will reward you with gift cards for watching videos and completing surveys. Warren Buffett also doesn't own a yacht or any other expensive toys, and he pledged to give away the bulk of his wealth to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. If your goal is to become a billionaire, there's no way you can try to achieve it by yourself. You need to have a great team. Throughout his shareholder letters and occasional interviews, Buffett has emphasized many times the importance of investing in trustworthy, competent management teams. To have a great team, you must learn to hire well. When it comes to selecting his business partners and managers, he is cautious since their actions can make or break an investment for many years to come. Buffett emphasizes three qualities when he hires: integrity, intelligence, and energy. But integrity always comes first. While other smaller investments lack the resources to evaluate a public company's CEO's character and skill for investing purposes, they can undoubtedly control who they listen to when selecting their investments and managing their portfolios. One notable piece of advice from Warren Buffett is do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. He's a great believer that people need to pay themselves first. If not, it's easy to pay everyone else and forget about saving for yourself. Another way to ensure security is always keep cash reserves on hand. Keep enough cash in reserve so you can buy opportunities too good to pass up. At the same time, your money will provide you with a buffer against unforeseen events, so you never have to be a panicked seller. Buffett says they always maintain at least $20 billion in cash equivalents. He credits these reserves with helping Berkshire Hathaway stay afloat throughout the Great Recession, even as so many other businesses floundered. In one of his latest deals, Buffett used all cash, as he didn't have to liquidate any investment. He was able to pull the trigger at the drop of a dime. If your cash reserves aren't where you feel they should be, perhaps there's an unknown treasure you've neglected that you can turn into cash. Maybe there's an old car in your driveway on which you're still paying insurance, although you never use. When Warren Buffett was a teenager, he went to the racetracks where he bet on a race and lost. In order to recoup his funds, he decided to bet on another race, but he lost again. He felt sick, as he had squandered nearly a week's earnings and never repeated that mistake. He learned that you don't need to make it back the way you lost it. If you recognize that your initial investment opinion for a particular stock is broken, then it's time to sell it and end with it. He now buys for specific reasons, and when those reasons are no longer present, he sells. Known as a value investor, Buffett looks for reasonable prices, sound management, and competitive advantage. In one of his letters to shareholders, he alluded that while GM, Sears, and IBM are tremendous, they could not stay competitive in their marketplace, so they would have been businesses to drop out of a portfolio. Buying a stock and holding it forever is not what you should do. Of the first 20 companies in which Buffett invested, the only one he still has is Berkshire Hathaway, while the other 19 he no longer owns. First, understand, then act. Warren is known to invest in companies, services, and products that people use. He invests in trains, planes, cars, ketchup, razors, underwear, furniture, and boring insurance companies. So before you invest in any stock, you should understand what the business does and how it makes money. One of the easiest ways to make an avoidable mistake is getting involved in overly complicated investments. Many investors have spent their entire careers working in no more than a handful of different industries. What Buffett strongly recommends, however, is to never invest in a business you can't understand. His theory may have caused him to miss out on Google and Amazon, but it also enabled him to avoid the worst of the dot-com bubble back in 2000 and the Bitcoin collapse last year. "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die," is another great quote from Warren Buffett. There's a belief that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. You need to establish passive income streams to help you diversify and increase your income, since you cannot always trade your time for money. Some of the ways to do that are investing in dividend stocks, publishing a book or an ebook for continued royalties, or creating and selling an online course on something you're knowledgeable about. As an illustration of this philosophy, Buffett first invested in Coca-Cola in 1988, and since that investment, he's never sold a share. Warren Buffett himself said many times that the best piece of advice he could ever give someone was that the most important investment you can make is on yourself. You are your greatest asset, so any investment you make that helps you grow your skills and learn new things is worth doing. When the University of Nebraska-Omaha hosted the Genius of Warren Buffett seminar in 2011, a student wanted to know what aspect of investing he should be studying in his leisure time. Warren replied, "For most people, the bulk of their income is going to come from earning power in their chosen profession. Therefore, from the standpoint of building wealth, free time is better spent sharpening one's professional skills rather than studying investing." He said that anything you do to improve your own talents and make yourself more valuable will pay off in terms of appropriate real purchasing power. Besides, unlike other assets and investments, nobody can tax it away. They can't steal it from you. Although we all may be tempted to spend our first made money, we shouldn't. Instead, we need to reinvest the profits. This is a lesson Buffett learned during his high school days when he bought a pinball machine for a barbershop. So, with the money they earned, they decided to buy more machines until they got 8 of them for 8 different shops. When the friends sold the venture, Buffett used the proceeds to buy stocks and start another small business. Buffett understands the power of compound interest. If you have a $1,000 investment earning 10% per year, that means you're getting paid $100 every year. If you spend that money, then it's gone forever. However, you can reinvest that money at the same high rate of return, and then in the second year, you will earn 10% on not $1,000 but $1,100, meaning you'll be getting paid $110 as opposed to $100, and this difference increases exponentially over time. According to Warren Buffett, we should always focus on the value we get from the thing we want, not prioritize the price. This is another universal truth that does not only count for investment businesses. We should try not to focus on the price tag, but the value underneath. For example, you may find 2 marketing courses online, one priced at $40 for a 2-hour course, and the other that costs $250 for approximately the same amount of time. While the $40 course is a lot cheaper, you should still ask about its quality. You may end up learning outdated lessons or lessons that you could have taught yourself on Google. While the more expensive course would have hurt your budget a lot more, but the lessons and tips shared there could make up for its price in your future. In the 1950s, Buffett famously stated that today's investor does not profit from yesterday's growth, and this statement indeed holds true today. Buffett believes that following past trends is much less important than identifying new opportunities, so you should only focus on what's in the future each time you decide whether to invest in a company. Learning from our mistakes is one thing, but if we dwell too much on past failures, we may subconsciously set ourselves up for more failures in the future. As Buffett states, in the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. Be sure to comment down below and let us know if we've missed something. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell to never miss an upload. Thank you very much for watching.